Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the CRUST. I hope you're having a great day. They've had patches since I last played. They're updating the game. They're developing it. It's an ongoing development project, right? And unfortunately, they broke something. This landing platform is currently dedicated to hauling fuel into here for a contract. But this thing is not going to lift off. It's busted. It won't take off. And in fact, the entire thing doesn't even exist anymore. The status for both of these platforms is identical right now. I could call down 2 pods to be loaded, and one of the pods would go directly within this one and land here and take off. This thing is just busted. And unfortunately, that means I won't be able to, get the rewards for this contract either. So I'm going to have to not get 90 grand. That hurts. It hurts even worse when I have to cancel it. And don't worry, I've tried many things and reloading the save to get this to happen. It won't work. Not only do I not get the 90 grand, but I also lose 12 and a half because I have to cancel it. So that's no good. Feels bad, man. But to make sure it doesn't happen with this one, I'm going to go ahead and build 4 new landing pads over here on this side so that we don't have to deal with it anymore. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and then another one right over here on this side, and that's 4. These 4 landing pads are primarily going to be used for the trade with fuel. Fuel is my main trade resource, and I would like to make more of it. I would like to make it faster, and I want to make more of it. So one of the things I want to start doing is I want to clear this area out. I want to bring that water over this way too. Okay. So we're going to get this area here cleared out, and I think this is going to be like the main thing my drillers are going to do right now to make that happen. I also have interest in making more advanced resources. I need to make a lot more advanced resources. So I'm going to clear this area out here too. Just about this far, I think it should probably be fine. We'll take a look at it, and then probably a little bit off of this area here too, so that I can, let's just go a little bit further like this. Yeah, so I want my drillers to be focusing on that. And then I got 5 drillers. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add, I know I was talking about these things not being needed, but when it comes time to move regolith, when it does become time to get all that stuff gathered up, they are phenomenal at doing that. So like I can situationally use them, and so I'm going to add another one of these so that we can have even more of these hauling drones when the time comes. Okay. So I want to talk about a couple of things. I want to respond to a few comments, and I want to, just kind of tell you what the game plan is going forward and sort of my thoughts of the game so far today. Number one, and unless you can point me to an official source where this thing has a limit, I'm not going to believe it does, because I've tested so much on this, and I cannot hit. I have yet to hit the limit of these power cables. So my understanding is that the power cables have an unlimited throughput. If there is a limit, I have never hit it. Which brings me to the response to comment number 1, which is I don't need more than one of these things. The electronic board says 0 because the electronic board itself does not consume power. It is merely a way of connecting power to other things. For example, if I click the medical block, you can see that it says 0. That doesn't mean it doesn't take power. That says out of 10. It can take up to max 10, but it doesn't, because it doesn't have anything to do because its output is full. If you look at the kitchen, same story, right? It's pending repair. So it's not consuming, but it can. This can't consume. It has no consumption properties. If I click on power pole, same thing. It's going to say 0. It doesn't tell you how much power is flowing through it. I think it would be really cool if it showed you how much power is flowing through that particular pole. I think that'd be great, but it doesn't show that. Now, you're also going to notice in the top left corner, in addition to contract completed, that we got this little notice here, this little audible alert that keeps popping off. And that is for the water supply for these, all the agroponics and stuff, right? The water supply is going on and off. And that's simply because we are not processing enough water. And I actually don't really need this to be built, so I'm going to go ahead and cancel it. This thing here first off, this one's available too. You should never hit this button. As far as the current build goes, I don't see a value in hitting this button. If you can see a value in it, please let me know. But this button says its melting speed is increased by 25%. That doesn't mean anything because this one's upgraded. It has the exact same ice storage and the exact same cubic meter per hour output as a non-upgraded one. It has the same 60 units as a non-upgraded one. So it doesn't change how much water is getting into the system. So in order to add more water to the system, you don't upgrade these, you add another unit. And I'm pretty sure that's going to get fixed. I would hope that gets fixed because I would think 25% increase from this amount of money spent, 40 grand, it should be increasing this number by 25% is what it should be doing, but it doesn't do that. At least on the current build, it doesn't do that. Again, all of the colonist stuff is a work in progress. They've been pretty open about that. It's not done yet. So there's a lot of stuff in the system that maybe doesn't work the way it's supposed to yet, or doesn't work the way the vision of the devs have yet. And that's probably one of those things. They just haven't gotten around to doing that yet. Okay. Another thing I need to do, and there's so many things on my list. I'm not going to get all of them, but I'm going to try my best to stay on topic and get through all the things I want to do today. There are many things I want to do today. I would like to expand concrete. That's something I definitely need to do. But before I can adequately expand concrete, I need to expand silicon. Silicon oxide specifically is something I really, really need a lot of. So we're going to be looking for ways to do that today. And I'm going to have I think I'm going to do this ore scanner. I'm going to put it over here. I'm going to hope that I can find some over here on this side. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, there we go. And what's this urgent contract here? You want to pay me 50% bonus in 15 days for this much stuff. The modular frames is the thing I think is a little bit too pricey there for me. I'm gonna pull back on that. That's fine. There will be other contracts. It's fine. We have at least one launch pad now, which is cool. They still have not. They're not salvaging this stuff yet. Really? You guys are gonna build all these before you salvage these? Come on now. There you go. Break them down. Yeah, I guess that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna build the new ones before they salvage the old ones. Okay, that's fine as long as I can use them. So we'll do high priority on all of those individually. Components factory upgrade is done. That's huge. It's all part of the thing that I wanted to do today. All right, we're gonna upgrade 2 of them at least. Okay, so let me find another contract really quick that I can get this running. And I like this one. This is nice. 78K. Ooh, this is more money for less fuel, but we don't get the research. I want money. I think right now money matters more to me right now. And I can do it with less resources. I think that's fine. Yeah, we get 107,000 for this. Absolutely. I want to do this. So I'm going to do the thing again where I set all these things in motion. But now, because I have 4 landing pads, of course, all these platforms and stuff, they're just going to land at the same time. That's fine. Do that. There we go. And then all right there. Done. So now all 4 of them will come down and land at the same time. And, you know, the fuel is located right here. So I moved the pads over here because the fuel is a lot easier to unload from that spot. So much easier for them to do that. I really, really hope that they get on making this ice melter because, man, oh man, would it be nice to have this thing operational so that I can show you that the flow of water does work. Okay. Flow of water, it is working. It's just not big enough. We just have too much stuff consuming water. So once I get that ice melter, I can add another one of these, which would be sensational to do. I can't really do it right now. It doesn't make much sense to do it right now. I'm going to, but it doesn't make much sense to do it right now because I don't have the ability to, oh, right there. There's enough room for that belt. Yeah. Yeah. And they need to be able to stand next to it, but I don't know if this gets in their way of standing. So I'm leaving spaces to ensure that they can still stand. So yeah, right there. And then the other one would go right here. All right. We want that. Eventually, we're going to put a refrigerator right here, but I don't have that research unlocked yet. I'd like to get that going. We currently have Conveyor Mark IV started and the large solar panel started. All very good things. I would like to get, I think, the microcircuit factory going. I'd like to get the solid resource storage and the regolith refinery upgrade too. Now, I don't really need these 2 things. It's what they unlock later that I want. It's this. It's this. And it's this. Those three things. I really want those three things. So if I can get those three things, I can definitely produce faster.
Connect to the internal systems and analyze the options for safe entry. Sensors indicated the presence of air in all compartments, so before the opening procedure, the air was preemptively pumped out.
I guess it's a good thing we didn't try to blow the door open and depressurize everything and destroy it all. Right? All right, good. So we got that. Excellent. Now we can send a truck over to get the resources. But look, it's already there. I left it there. So there we go. We can get 50 steel, 35 titanium, some plates, some components is huge, and then also get our robots back, which is nice. So we'll go ahead and get it's this one, and we'll just fill it up and tell.
The internal compartments of the observatory were found to be filled with air. This is strange because during autonomous operation, the air is usually evacuated, and there is no permanent staff here. Judging by the disorder at the workstations and the active terminals, someone was here before us. The information in the database has been partially lost and the log files have been cleared. Whoever was here extracted data about the explosion and deleted the original files. Nevertheless, we managed to obtain data on gravitational wave research and dismantle valuable equipment.
I'm going to assume that none of that stuff would be available to me if I blew that thing open. I'd like to think that anyway. It makes me feel like I made a good decision. Okay, real quick check on contracts because, I want to focus a lot more on building stuff and less about clicking menus, but I really need the money. It's very vital that I get this. So this contract looks interesting. I don't have nearly enough steel for it, though. Got to be really nice if I had enough steel, though, wouldn't it? Gosh. All right. I can't do that one, though. I don't have the steel. How much time? 20 days, though? I could maybe get the steel in 20 days. I've been sending it all for components, right? This one's doable. 267,000. And science for all of my fuel. It's a lot of money. I'm just wondering if I can get a better payout by splitting the source, like just by splitting the amount I'm sending, you know? Like if I had, like this is 3 times that, so this times 3 gets me more anyway, that kind of thing, right? I get 90 grand for 274. That's a better deal, technically. So I think I'm going to do that instead because it is by unit. Yeah, price per unit I think is better on that deal. It's just not as much money in bulk, but that's fine. As long as I'm getting good price per unit, I'm fine with that. So we're going to go like that. Yep, there we go. And then just get them to load these things so that I have that stuff going while I'm doing other things. Okay. Now they're going to come down super loud. God, they're so loud. I wish that volume was not so loud when you're underneath. Like, I wish it was only that loud when you were staring right at it above ground. You go down way down below ground like this, it shouldn't be that loud, man. That's just deafening. All right, the cargo truck's back with all that loot from Aliguo. Whatever the heck you're supposed to say for it. So we're getting that brought back. And my fuel contract is almost completed. We're going to get a whole bunch of money for that as soon as it takes off here.
A lot of industrial and scientific facilities on the moon have been severely damaged and remain incommunicado. We could try to build a repeater at our base. Who knows what signals it might be able to detect.
I know, right?
Maybe we can find survivors or gather useful resources and research materials.
All right, so one of the mistakes that I wanted to talk about today is that I think it was a mistake that I didn't build this sooner. This thing here is going to open up a lot of possibilities, and it opens up a really important possibility in that you can find other survivors quite easy, or at least easier. And having more people is so important. I definitely undervalued the importance of having more personnel on the base, probably because the whole system is a work in progress. So I figured maybe it wasn't even part of the balance yet, but it clearly is part of an integrated part of the balance. And we definitely need to get more people here on the base. So this repeater here, they're missing, looks like just the steel is what's missing here. I mean, there's just no excuse for that, right? Where the hell is the steel? I mean, it looks like it's all on this belt. It's heading this way. It's inside these machines to make components, which that makes sense. Yeah, we just got the contracts. We're at 528,000 now. Very good. And what I'm really hoping I see here is, I'm just going to do it. I want it done now. I want to go see the stuff that's up there. So we're going to quickly go over. Am I really this impatient? I kind of am. Yeah, I want this 100 steel. It's like $5,000. Tell you what, we'll buy carbon fiber because we need to buy a lot of carbon fiber. And we'll just have a little bit of iron inside the carbon fiber. Inside the carbon fiber thing. Yeah. All right. There. Oh, no, it needs to be one by. I like how they give you an arrow to add, but not an arrow to subtract. And you can't like right click the arrow or anything like that. You have to actually drag it back. That sucks. Anyway, so right here is fine. Steel is what? 10 tons per unit? Yeah. So we'll go like this with the steel and we'll just buy that. That'll give us the steel that we need to create that. So there we go. And then they should just pop the carbon fiber right there in that storage. At least I hope anyway. Okay. So I need to spend a lot of money. All right. I need to spend a lot of money. I need to buy a lot of carbon fiber. I need to buy a lot of things, but I want to start making my own more advanced resources. So I've opened this up for, wait a minute. Is that more silicon? Well, it is, right? I mean, that's more silicon. Sweet. Oh, we have to scan it first. Okay, well, when they get on it, my gosh, they take forever to build these things. Maybe I could just, I think we have enough stuff drilled out now. Let's go just remove the driller drones for a second. Get them in here. I guess there's just a lot of stuff to do and they're just refusing to do it. You know what? I think, yeah, let's pull some of these haulers out of here too. I really want more drones building things. It needs to happen. There's so many resources to use too. Look, there's a bunch of steel in here. They're just not bringing it over. It's fascinating to me watching them try to prioritize things and how they just flat out won't make this. It's like, is this high priority construction like your least important thing to do or what? Like, what is this? It's the only construction project I have that's labeled as max priority. I can put the repeater at minimal and it doesn't matter. They won't do it. It's crazy how you could have had all this water, all this ice, this whole time you could have had this. And you made this like the last thing on your list, you silly bitches. Absolutely wild. Okay. Watch as this thing completes.
The computer has begun working, and you will now regularly discover new signals on the moon's surface.
There we go. Okay. Moon surface is here. It's going to put this big old signal out. There we go. And it's going to reveal a whole bunch of question marks on the moon. Okay. And these question marks are places that we can visit with our rover to try to figure out things. We have a survivors camp right here, an extraction complex, whatever that means, fuel factory right there, amazing, a sorting terminal, amazing. The fuel factory should give me lots of fuel, right? That's great. Survivors camp should be awesome. Let's go investigate it. It says a camp housing human survivors of a lunar catastrophe. And an unexplained explosion severely damaged critical installations on the far side of the moon, crippling the Hope series orbital stations. This event triggered a chain reaction that disrupted communications and control systems, resulting in the destruction of vital infrastructure and widespread chaos. In the aftermath, survivors either dispersed to evacuation sites, that's extraction complex, or remained at their posts as they await rescue missions or endeavor to rebuild lunar facilities. They are open to bartering supplies for much needed materials with other survivors. Oh. Are you guys not open to joining me? Interesting. Got storage there, solar panel field, refinery, survivors camp up that way. I want to see the fuel factory too. Sounds like they're just going to barter, but we're going to go check it out. And again, that brings me to the thing I wish I had done, which is I wish I had explored more of those things as we went, right? So I'm going to go to the market. Nope, CRUST Solutions. Here we go. We're going to get another rover scout because I believe that will actually have a lot of value to me to have two of them on the map. So there we go. We're also going to get additional science from that rover scout as well. So as it comes in, I can start using it. We should see rover now. So it's plus 100. There we go, plus 94. So we start to get more science from this thing too, as it generates some science. So we're going to have it leave the base, and then it can go and explore other sites that we have seen with the repeater. This is a very big deal for me. I think it is anyway. We are 9 days away from large solar. Then we'll get the microcircuit stuff going too. I want to get more microcircuits being made. So microcircuits, we can talk about those too. And I think actually the best way to talk about that is probably after I've done the concrete thing I want to do, because we are starting to get slag building up. If slag builds up here too much, obviously it goes back through here too, and then that means all these machines will start backing up too. So I need to do something about this, and I'm really happy that we found more silicon over here. At least I think we did. Oh, there we go. It's built now, guys. You see, they actually did it. There we go. All right, so with this done, and it's daytime now, let's go ahead and scan that just so I can make sure I get it. It's wild that we didn't scan that before, man. Wow. Silicon was there the whole time, eh? Actually, this looks like a big enough deposit to where I can address the second comment I had wanted to address. So I was asked, why do I only put one extractor on these deposits? I mean, it's a valid question, right? And the answer for it is really, I never thought it was possible. And so let me show you what I mean. Not every site, and this is actually really important when we get done. So I'm going to have them clear this out. Drillers. I need more drillers. Drillers. Let's have them clear this out. Not every site is possible for that. So we can take a look at this one as a good example. If I take my extractor and I place it on this, you can see it says 9 out of 9. If I tried to place it here, it wouldn't allow it. It says 8 out of 9, right? So I wouldn't be able to have that with 8 out of 9, right? 6 out of 9, etc. If I put it here, 9 out of 9, 9 out of 9, 6 out of 9. Okay. So in other words, I can't scoot this over 1 because it wouldn't fit. It wouldn't work there. But if I could scoot it over 1, then I might have been able to get this one, to be here. And then I could have had 2 on this deposit. And there's sometimes you can, tinker with the orientation of different things to get it to work. But I tried to I tried to do that with several different deposits, and none of them were big enough to do that. So I just kind of assumed that the rules were the same for all of them. However, when you brought this comment to my attention, I went over and checked this one because it looks like the deposit kind of sits out a little bit more, right? And sure enough, if I position it just like this, it will allow me to place another one of these iron deposits down. So I can get even more iron regolith into the system here by putting it here. So that's something that I am going to do. And we're going to hug like that because I want to leave this open for additional expansions in the future if I can. So definitely want to leave that open for that. Okay, and now that we have silicon here, I mean, this looks like it's big enough to where we can maybe do it too, and that would be awesome if it is. So if I can put this, 9 out of 9 right there, and then 9 out of 9 right there. Yeah, excellent. So we can do that with both of those. That's pretty great. Let's go ahead and, we'll bring this over and have it go. Do you have it go this way instead? Ooh, I feel like it should go this way instead, right? Instead of tapping onto the iron belt, we can bring it this way instead. Let's do that. Let's bring it back here. So one more forward and then this way. All right, and then we can have it maybe join in over here. That saves me from having to update this whole belt a lot, and we can just update these little belts here that we were already going to update anyway. Yeah, so why don't we go, gosh, is that, it may save me from updating, but it also causes me to have to build a lot more belt, right? I don't know if that's worth it. Yeah, I'm going to do it anyway. Let's just do that. So we'll get that stuff going, and then the power for this will go here. But then also I want it to go, I was hoping it would fit right there, but it won't. We'll put it here. I don't think that'll be in the way. I actually don't know, but I don't think it'll be in the way. Right here, and then there, and there. Okay. Did they build the ice maker? They did. Okay, so now that we have another ice melter here, right? 60 water added. That's actually 120. So this update didn't do anything. And now that we have 120, we actually have water in the tanks. All right, excellent. We also have this, which is great too. All right. And what we really need here to make more carbon fiber faster, what we really need here are people. People are so good. Staff are so good on these machines. We definitely need more of them. If we can't have more people, then we at least need a lot more of these inefficient machines. So I'm going to add one more of these. And then what we're going to do is have it go this way. I think I'll probably end up having this be in the center point. So it'll probably end up being about here. Yeah, I want to put the refrigerator right here. So this isn't going to end up going like this. Yeah, let's have it go like this. Like that. And then what we'll do is we will delete this, bring this way. Okay, and then let's delete this. Yeah, let's bring these things back. We're gonna go this way with it, and then this will split. Here we go. Yeah, like this, and this will split and go this way. Like that. And this will go out into the third one right here. Now, in order to get that third one, though, we got to expand on this side. So we are going to go over to the room building. I'm going to build a standard wall right here. One more tile over. Because I didn't do it enough before. And that will let me fit another one of these right beside it. What's this contract for? 150,000 with a 60% bonus in 30 days. I like all of these things. We'll take it. At 30 days, that's a long time to get the bonus. I like that. Doesn't seem so urgent to me, you know? They say it's an urgent contract, but it doesn't seem very urgent. What can we do here? 32 fuel for 10,000? Really? Okay. Like, that's it. Done. Sign me up. I mean, granted, I have to spend 1,000, I guess, to bring the thing down, so maybe it's not as worth it as I thought it was, but it seemed like a pretty decent deal to me. Very quick contract. This is asking for too much, so no thanks. It was a lot to give me, but it's asking for too much. Okay, there are a couple of things I've forgotten. So this right here is not connected. Good to point that out. It just didn't connect when I built it, so there we go. And also, I never connected this one either. So this one here is now connected too. Okay, but still, the slag is building up. It's massive. We need to do something about it. So we're gonna start by tearing down a lot of these belts because they're kind of in the way. So we're gonna tear down this belt here, tear down this belt here. We'll bring it all the way back to this point, I think. Yep. And then what I want to do is we're going to have... I don't think we're going to do any storage here for this. I think instead what we'll do is we're going to build that storage up top, right? So let's get rid of... I want to get rid of all of this stuff. Yeah. Yeah, all of this stuff needs to go. Yeah, this does. This does. I don't think this needs to stay. I think this goes. Yeah, that one goes too. So we're going to break down these things. And then I'm going to double the amount of concrete I'm processing. Provided, of course, we are getting enough silicon in here. And I do need to also connect that to get that going. There we go. So send that down the belt as well. There we go. This is going to start becoming a bottleneck. We're just going to upgrade these really quick. And we'll upgrade that belt too, just to really get it flowing through here. I think that's good. There we go. Excellent. We want to make more fuel too, of course. So let's get another ice extractor. And this actually may be, I'm looking at it, this may be another deposit we can get to on. Let me just widen this out a little bit more on the sides here. Maybe we can get 2 ice extractors on this deposit too. We'll go like that. There we go. Okay, so I've got now more of these things. So I can get more haulers. So we can move things around a little bit faster that way too. I'm looking at just 94 fuel in my inventory. So I don't have a whole lot of ammo there when it comes to selling that stuff. But if we can begin to process this slag faster, if we can make more concrete, we can, incorporate contracts that have concrete as part of it. I would also like to make more modular frames. I'd like to make microprocessors. I'd like to make the Duralumin. All of these things I want to set up today. But all of these things are going to take more power as well. And that's why I'm getting the large solar panel ready to go. Okay, so that's on the list right there too. Okay, let's start with concrete. Then we'll work our way towards microprocessors, Duralumin, all that other stuff. So the first thing I want to do here, this is assuming we have more silicon on the system because we're going to be processing more since we're sending it down that belt. I'm going to have the smart concrete factory. We're going to place this here. It's a good spot for it. And we're going to flip it so that the slag is on that side. And then we're going to come over here. We're going to flip it again. Now slag is in the interior. Okay. Come back in here. And then on this side, we'll kind of do the same thing. We're going to place this right across from the other slag. So there. Yep. And then we flip it. And now the... Yep. That. So all the slag inputs are on the interior. And the silicon is on the outside. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. What we'll do here is we're going to want to take the... I'm trying to like look at it and think about this. I think here's what I want to do. I want to take the slag up the middle. And then the silicon's on the outside. So silicon on the outside would go about like this. That, and then it would come over. Okay. And then on here, we'd go up. And then we would go, yeah, from here over and in. And then it's also going to go this way. Okay. There we go. And then we also need to get the slag belts in. So let's get the slag belts in too. We're going to go this way with the slag belts. And then this goes up. And this goes in. And then this goes forward one. And then up. And then in. This is in an effort to try and see about maybe splitting it evenly. But I don't know if we can really even do that. All right. Now we need the underground conveyors. We're going to start with the underground there. Bring it all the way over like this. So we're going to have the belt go like that. This one would connect there. And then this is done. We don't need that anymore. So then the underground from this side goes here to here. And then here to here. And then this one comes over and connects like that. This one comes over and connects like that. And now we've doubled concrete production. And then this belt is the same. It's just concrete, which all just meets up right there. So we just connect it there and there. Same thing with this belt. It just goes this way. But now we're changing it up a little bit here, right? So now instead of the concrete flowing this direction to get into here, instead of that, we're going to have this belt flip directions. All right. So this belt now goes that way. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have this be concrete only, and it's a priority input. So now concrete goes this way first before it goes this way. And then these ones are just going to continue to provide that direction. So everything's fine going that way. So these concrete producers will always send it to the top. But these ones here will send it to the top only if this one's full. Okay. And then finally we go ahead and whoops. Wow, I can click the right tool, I swear. Right here and right here. And we'll go ahead and confirm all that. Okay. And then the last thing to do here, I guess, is to get power. So power would go here. And then you would connect. We would want to go this way with the power from there, I think. So we'll go there. Yep. And then this one's going to connect here. And then this one will get the other three. There we go. And then you are now full. Okay. So once they build that, I should see the slag all flowing. That's good. Slag's ending up exactly where it's supposed to be. Now the slag has to go faster as well. We have to push this faster now. So this is going to get upgraded. There it goes. And then obviously this needs upgraded too. And this one needs upgraded. And then we're going to go ahead and make sure that actually that one's probably good to do just this side. Yeah. And then we'll go ahead and upgrade these two. Okay. That should take care of the distribution that I require for that. Research is done on large solar panels. Okay. I want to come back over here because all this stuff that we're building is going to take more power, right? Now we've gotten through the end of the day here. It's not that big of a deal if I tear down these solar panels, but we will be tearing them down. But before we tear them down, I'm going to build a big boy. And that big boy is going right here. Right there. That dude is going to be very, very good for us. And we're going to have you, I think, just continue that direction. That's fine. All right. And then on this side, we're going to go ahead and disconnect disconnect a couple of things on this side here too. But now that the sun is kind of going down, we're not getting a whole lot of input on this anymore. It's not really that big of a deal if we go ahead and tear it out now. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. There we go. And then once those are out of the way, we're going to queue up a second big boy panel here. All right. So these big ones, they take 5 compute as opposed to 3 compute from these. So it's going to be a little bit more CPU heavy. But instead of 85 power, they provide 300. So definitely worth switching everything to these. And they take up the surface area of 4, I believe. No, they're bigger than that. Wow. They take up the surface area of 9. Never mind. We are going to be able to have enough room for this. 1, 2. I might have to move these poles, but we might be okay. Here and then... well... You know what? We'll just have to extend our solar grid that direction. Wow. So much space. Use it, right? So we'll just use the space we have. It's not a big deal. Wasting science points. Oh, no. So we're wasting green science. Let's make sure we do something with that. Let's go assembler 2 here. And then on social side, I want to get the bar. Get the moon bar. Oh, no. The industrial fridge. Let's get the fridge before we get the bar. That fridge is really important to my plans here. Okay. What's next? We need to talk about people, right? Need to look at that. Let's come back out here. So we have the survivors camp, and it looks like they want me to bring 10 components, 181 steel, and 18 fuel. I could probably do that and see what comes of it. Do we get people for it? I don't know. This rover, let's send you to the fuel factory. All right. And then we have another rover right here. Yep. And this rover is going to go to the sorting terminal and see what's up with that. Okay. So the second rover is going to actually do something now, right? It's moving around. As far as what this truck will do, I guess we can send it. I mean, it's a couple of components, right? But I want to see what happens with the survivors camp. So why don't we send this truck? I guess they're both idle, aren't they? Yeah, kind of. Well, we'll send one idle truck over to the survivors camp and we'll load all these resources, okay? So let's do that. And the drones will help me with the fuel part of that. I mean, the drones can probably help me with all of it, really, but yeah, and there's not that much to do, but I would rather load, as much as possible with the belts. So looks like the steel can be loaded with the belt. So we'll go ahead and unlock that. Let the steel out. Yeah, and these guys will go ahead and take the components and the lighter stuff. It doesn't take as many units, right? But we'll just go ahead and unleash the steel into there and see what that survivors camp wants, all right? Since we don't really need steel for anything major, like any missions or anything like that right now. Not the laser, for sure. Okay, and I think I don't want it to go overboard here. 68, 70. I mean, obviously we're still sending it from this, but I think probably we're good to go ahead and close this. We'll let the drones do it from there. And then down below, we have 29 steel right here too. So they can use this to build things too. Speaking of using it to build things, we have a double wall. Okay, so with the double wall, we want to come over here and we want to dismantle this wall right here. And as soon as I do that, watch the power in the room. Pew, right? So silly. And then it comes back on, I guess. So maybe it's fine now. Maybe everything is actually everything is fine. Who knows? But the slag is, of course, being brought into here. Should be doing it from here, but I don't know if they actually do it from here. Forbid taking resources. Now, you're good. Yeah, they can take it from here. I don't know if they actually are, though. That's the thing. So we'll see. I'll keep an eye on that. It's this 216. So we'll keep an eye on it and see if they actually do it. Okay, now that they've broken all this down, we're going to come back over here, standard wall, but we're not going to do a wall. We're just going to say, no, I don't want the wall. And then right click. And now it automatically tells it to make a floor here. And we say go. Okay. So we'll have the floor replaced like that. Okay. Okay. Now the next thing that's important for this, and I don't have enough power for this stuff. Yeah, I don't have enough power for this stuff yet. Okay, well, we're working on it, okay? We're working on it, I swear. It's a work in progress, just like this game. We have enough power to last us the night, which is good. And then they're not actually building these things right now. I mean, I guess they brought the concrete and the silicon, which is fine. But they're not going to be able to build it unless they have duralumin, modular terminals, or control units. In this case, we already had a control unit, but we only have one. So we need to buy another one. And those are incredibly expensive devices. So we need to get duralumin and we need to get modular terminals to actually have those 2 solar panels. Why don't we talk about duralumin now? Like actually making it instead of buying it. Now I probably will buy a little bit of it just to get one of those solar panels running because we need the production. But this is also done with the assembler. And again, I've made a lot of mistakes in this series, right? So there's a lot of things you should maybe not take from me as like an example of how to do things. And one of the things one of the mistakes I've made is I've waited way too long to make advanced resources. You should not be waiting until the game wants them. You should be making them so that you have them when the game wants them, okay? So that's my fault on that. So I want to make a setup for like duralumin here, and I'm thinking maybe I could do 3. I kind of want to cut this out a little bit. I wanted to avoid getting in the way over here. I mean, initially I was going to do it here, but now that the silicon is there, I kind of want to, move over a little bit. So how about we get the belts to go 1, 2, and then we'll bring it all the way over here. Now I want to know what side it's on. I'm going to take a guess and say that I got to flip this. So we'll flip it. And we're going to go over here and we're going to try to get the duralumin plates. This requires the aluminum as well as the rare earth. Hopefully the rare earth is on the right side on this. Let's see. Is it? It is. Okay, good. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I think the first thing is I'm going to, because I'm adding more aluminum to the setup today, I'm going to go ahead and get a smelter positioned here. Now, I don't need them to build this because we're not full yet, but we're about to be. I just wanted to make sure I had enough room. So I do. Let's pull it out. All right, so what I want to do here is I think let's say from this one, we're going to pull this out and we're going to take this belt all the way over this way. I could go underneath this or I could just go around. And, like I'm kind of pro going around. This wasn't supposed to be here before when I was laying this out to plan it, but neither was this, so okay. But I just added this and now it's in my way, so it's fine, I guess. We'll just do it this way. We'll go ahead and go around like this. Yep, and then we're going to bring this up. From this side is fine, and then it goes in right over here. That's where the aluminum goes, okay? And did I leave enough room to make 2 of these? Because it would be really nice if we could do 2 of them. I might have to bring this over just a little bit to make enough room for another one. Nope, I got just enough room for another one right here. And then flip it and go like that. Yep. Well, not just enough room. I do need to come back a little bit because I want the other belt to come next to it. So in actual fact, this is the aluminum goes that way and the rare earths are going to be the other direction. Okay. Now, I've been asked this question before too. Like, why not just combine the belts? You don't need 2 belts. You don't need a belt for each resource. You're wasting money. It's about the logistics of creating one resource that you create a lot more of than the other resource, right? So if I create, for example, a lot more aluminum than I create rare earth metals, then what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of aluminum on this belt and not as much rare earth metals. Yet, the formula for creating this involves a 4-to-1 ratio, so that's not a huge deal. But what happens if the aluminum fills up in both of these machines, and then your your belt can't progress to get the rare earth in there, and then you're tied down. The little extra expense that I'm taking is just to ensure that that never happens. Is pretty much it. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so to get the rare earths, they're going to be situated here, right? And we're making them from this machine. So from this, I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to tear down this belt right here. We're going to bring this belt across. And I'm going to go like in a straight line. That's probably fine. Yep. And then right along like that. That's not what I want to do on that end. I'm really glad that the conveyor belts don't act like electrical poles. And that the electrical poles will like automatically create the thing that you don't want. So right there, and then over, and then like this. I think that's fine, right? Because this can go straight this way. Yeah. Yep. And then you will go this way like this. So it's a little extra cost with the belt, absolutely. But this guarantees two things to me. One, it guarantees that my aluminum never disrupts rare earth and vice versa. And two, it also provides storage for that resource without having to build another storage. And it doesn't provide excessive storage. Like I could put 2 storages here, but that's kind of excessive storage. I don't need like 500 units of each one right here, but enough to where it fills the belt is completely fine with me. So we're going to do that. Okay. And then what we'll have is duralumin.